everyone, my name is Adrienne Bach. I am the Outreach Technician here with the Stark Soil and Water Conservation District. Today we're going to talk about watersheds and storm water pollution. So a watershed, as you can see here on our Enviroscape, is an area of land where all of the precipitation that ends up here, or the storm water, which is rainfall and snowmelt, it's all going to go to the same place, which is the lake down here at the bottom. So as you can see, this is a fairly well-developed area, and we're going to talk about point source pollution and non-point source pollution. So point source pollution is pollution that you can easily identify where it came from. So right here, we have a sewage treatment plant, and there are two little waste bins right here in the front where they keep the sewage to be treated. We're going to represent that with some brown sprinkles. So if pollution, say human waste, ends up in the water, it's going to be easy to trace where it came from. So the sewage treatment plant, right here. Up here, we have our industrial factory. Let's say they produce plastics. There's a lot of waste that comes from the plastic production factory. So if it ends up in our water, it's going to be pretty easily to say it came from right here. So we're going to show that. They're green food coloring. So I'll fill this pipe right here. So point source pollution, you can easily tell where it came from. Now on our Enviroscape, there are lots of non-point source pollution sources. So right here is a great example. We have a golf course right here in this green area, and then we have a neighborhood with some houses right up here. So all that grass needs pesticides and fertilizer. But how are you going to know if it ends up in the water, if it came from the golf course or if it came from our homes? Another source of non-point source pollution that is a big problem is our cars. So our cars are full of all different kinds of fluids, and sometimes those fluids can leak. So right here we have some oil. Let's say this car here is leaking, and this car here is leaking. But once oil ends up in our water, it's really hard to tell where it came from, especially since cars are driving back and forth all the time. So right here, we have our little edge of our construction site. This is probably an edge of a much bigger area, and a few miles down the road, there's probably some more construction. So they have some concrete washout here. It's really hard to say, hey, it definitely came from that site when there's another site a few miles up the road. And as you can see here, there's trees here, 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 and here, and they're all gonna drop leaves. And without being 100% sure of what kind of leaf it is, you're never gonna know what tree the leaf came from. And then finally, we have roads, as you can see here, that extend off the Enviroscape. And roads in the winter require salt. It's really hard to tell where road salt came from once it ends up in our water. Because there's so many roads, there's lots and lots of runoff from the snowmelt. So right here, we have our big rainstorm. So it's gonna rain. It's washing all of those pollutants down into the water. As you can see, this water is now super murky and dark. There's blue from the oil, there's green from the plastic facility, there's lots of leaves, there's salt, there's all kinds of nasty stuff in this water. So it's extremely important that we are careful and we are stewards of the environment and we minimize our pollution as much as we can, because our stormwater becomes contaminated, our drinking water and our recreation water, it all becomes contaminated. So here at Stark Soil and Water, we're happy to answer questions of Stark County residents and point them in the right direction if they have any questions about stormwater or our watersheds. Thank you. you.